What's up, y'all? This DSA one UGA fan ranting opinions. I think I said in my last video that if UGA wins, I'm gonna be on here talking shit. It might not be a whole lot, but I'm gonna be saying something. And I looked at Dog Nation, Uncle Lou, KB, known as Kangaroo Black, and I want to say one other person I can't think of right now. Oh yeah, and T2Y, even though he's an ACC fan, because his team is Miami, I watched him too. But looking at this past weekend, never mind, forget that. Looking at this past week, in these chats, excuse me, y'all gonna be hearing me drink coffee throughout this goddamn, this video I'm making. Tennessee fans had a whole lot of shit to say. I said at least 2 weeks ago or even a week ago that Tennessee is a concern for me. I ain't say I was scared. I just said they're concerned because I'm a realist. Like, I look at things for what they are, not what they could be. Well, I ain't gonna say could be, what a delusional fan think is going to happen. Tennessee had the number 1 ranked offense, but the number, I want to say 26 ranked defense, going against the number 2 offense and the number 8 defense. And these Tennessee fans was talking so much shit. They gonna come in and blow Georgia out by 50. They gonna take over Georgia. Well, let's say Athens. They gonna take over Athens. They gonna do blase, this, that, and the third. What the fuck happened, Tennessee? What happened? I counted during that game 6 sacks. We've only had 9 all season. That's 1 a game, maybe 2. Y'all could not stop Georgia's defense, and we had a player out. So before anybody that catch this video now or years from now and want to comment, like most real fans say, this was no excuse. We don't have the players, but y'all, not all of y'all, I'm gonna say some of y'all. I'll put it like this. When I say y'all, I'm speaking on the delusional Tennessee fans, not the real Tennessee fans that see it for what it is. I'm talking about the delusional fans. So when y'all hear me say y'all, that's who I'm talking about. Y'all was talking about, oh, we gonna beat y'all with 3 and 4 stars. Where the fuck was they at on Saturday? Oh, the rain caused the problem. Yeah, for Georgia, because Georgia let up. Georgia literally let up. And y'all ended up getting back into the game, not so much that it was an issue, but y'all ended up scoring. And I look at it like you shouldn't have got that, but the way the play was set up, the way the hole was opened up, there was no stopping that. I mean, that is what it is. But Tennessee talked so much shit. They were like, we gonna do this, that, and the third, and didn't do a fifth of what they were talking about they were gonna do. They literally got monkey stomped to lose by 2 touchdowns. I even called the game closer than that. I said at least 45-31 or 38-21 or 38-28. I gave them that just off of what they've done and what I seen them do to Kentucky, no lie. Because when I seen the way them Tennessee players was looking, I'm like, shit, we gonna be in for a fight. These boys showing their ass off. They gonna come ready to play Saturday. Like, these boys ain't goofing around. They ain't playing. They finna tear up the radio. Man, when we got them 3 touchdowns, and I want to say the first quarter and part of the second, and they only had a field goal, I was like, okay, Tennessee ain't finna let that happen. Tennessee finna fight back. Tennessee finna goddamn come back. I know some of y'all know that meme where you hear in the background But the dude be like, fight back. You hear punches getting thrown, folks getting slammed on the ground. Fight back. Fight back. That's how I was thinking looking at Tennessee play Georgia. But that shit did not happen at all. I mean, if Georgia could have scored, if it didn't rain, Georgia probably would have scored 2 more touchdowns. And it would have been like 40-something to what they had. What, 17-10, something like that? That was a complete ass whooping. Beat Tennessee like they stole some. And then the audacity of the talking heads. All of them picking Tennessee. And then from what I understand during the game day, the celebrity pick was the only one that picked Georgia to win. And the other thing that tripped me out, I had got a call from an LSU fan trying to humble me because he said, I'm sitting up here thinking just because we won one national championship in 40 years, we think we the shit. If anybody know me, including this fan, knows that I don't act like that. I'm not even finna explain myself. I said this months ago. I even put this in chats months ago. I even said this on my videos weeks and months ago that the only teams I see giving Georgia problems at the time before Tennessee really started rolling was Oregon, Mississippi State, and either South Carolina or Florida. Tennessee wasn't even in the conversation at that time. So as the season goes on, I'm seeing, well, after we beat South Carolina, I'm looking at it like, okay, we done already beat Oregon. That's nothing to worry about no more. We done beat South Carolina. That's not an issue no more. But Tennessee was still on the rise. They really wasn't showing it was a threat. So I'm like, okay, Mississippi State is the last team I'm considering that could be a problem. Then I started seeing Tennessee get done bad. I'm like, okay, they might not even be an issue themselves. So then when Tennessee turn around and show they are a legit issue, I'm like, okay, I have some concerns. Not worried, but just concerned. And our defense is still young. They took a step back, but they didn't fall off, which is what I've been saying. So me and this LSU fan had a decent debate, steadily talking shit, and wanted to go back 10, 20 years, this, that, and the third. So he mentioned like Georgia didn't win a championship for 40 years. Looked up the dates and everything. Then also looked up the dates that LSU hasn't had a championship up until, I want to say 2003. It had been 50 fucking years since LSU got a national and then went on every 3-year run, 3, 6, 9, then fell off for a few years, won one, and I want to say 19. So they got 3 or 4 nationals, and if you include the ones that Georgia got, it's 2, maybe 3. They got maybe 2 or 3 nationals over Georgia. So I'm like, okay. He looked up some stats. I'm like, if you look at the stats that you're talking about, LSU is slightly better, not by a whole lot. Just because y'all went on that run in 18 and 19 and whooped our ass, I'm like, yeah, y'all, I give y'all credit on that. Y'all did us bad. But at the same time, y'all really wasn't hitting on shit until 18 and 19. And y'all fell slack the fuck off after 19. So basically, y'all really ain't been hitting on shit off and on before a few years. We've been consistent in 10 plus years. We not have gotten over the hump, like he mentioned, which is something I also give credit to. Which he mentioned, excuse me. But I'm like, y'all haven't been consistently relevant. We've been consistently relevant. We have been a consistent threat for 10 plus years. We didn't get over the hump, true enough. We finally got over it, but I still don't look at it like we're done. Georgia still needs to keep proving themselves. We're not out of the woodworks yet for the next couple years. So he thinking that Bryant, so we was talking and I was like, all right, y'all good. He was like, I really want y'all to lose. I'm gonna be a Georgia hater. I want y'all to lose because you sitting up here acting like y'all the shit now. I'm like, I'm not acting like we the shit. I'm just pointing out stuff that I told you months ago. I said, who out of the East is gonna stop us? I said the only team I see out of the West that was gonna give us a run. This is before Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and LSU started looking the way they were looking. I said the only team out the West I see stopping us is Alabama. Other than that, I don't see nobody stopping us. Was I lying? Was I talking shit? No, that was just me telling the truth like I've been doing. So now he feels like LSU has a chance to beat Georgia. Every team has a chance. I'm not even going to deny that. Every team got a chance. But I'm like, looking at what y'all going through as far as y'all schedule, yeah, y'all got a good chance to do it. But y'all are not 2019 LSU. Y'all are not 2018 LSU. And I said, and then on top of that, y'all still playing with Coach Orgeron players. Let Brian Kelly get his players in. We'll really see what y'all looking like. I said, and I've been saying this. Whenever a new coach get in, you got to give them 5 years to get their players, the players that they want. He wanted to argue with me saying that LSU is not playing with Les Miles players at the time when we was talking about it. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. I said, Orgeron was playing with Les Miles players. That's how they end up getting a championship. I said, and then you end up getting Joe Burrow, who left from Ohio State because he didn't want the competition, just like the other quarterback that left from Ohio State. I forgot what school in Florida he went to. He didn't want the competition. He was like, how you figure that? I said, because he left. If he wanted it, he would have stayed there and competed against Justin Fields, who turned out to be a complete baller, which is what I was saying the years he was at Georgia. So Joe Burrow get to LSU, show out. Not knocking that. He did his thing. Georgia was still rebuilding. Kirby only had like maybe one of his classes in, maybe two. Georgia was still getting out the Mark Richt players. Yeah, that stuff takes an effect. Not all coaches have the ability to just jump in and take over a program like that. It's a rarity. It's real rare. So we talked for a little bit more on that. And I was like, okay, since you want to go back to the past, go back to last year. What y'all look like last year? He ain't really want to say nothing. I'm like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Since you want to be bringing up stats that make you look good, go back to last year. Y'all really didn't do nothing. And then y'all got rid of y'all coach. I'm like, Georgia don't go on suspensions where their coach and staff is doing things they ain't got no business doing. And that hurt y'all. That ain't y'all fault, but that hurt y'all. So I guess it's going to be LSU and Georgia in the SEC championship. And he was also talking about, what if LSU get in? I said, no two-loss team is going to get in to the playoffs, regardless of what you think. Y'all lost a game to FSU. That hurt you as far as playoff chances, but it don't hurt you as far as SEC chances. And then y'all took a loss to Tennessee. The same Tennessee team y'all struggled with, we blew out. Y'all struggled with Florida. The same team we blew out. I'm like, how you really think y'all gonna beat us if y'all struggling with teams we destroying? I take that back, not destroying, but beating up on pretty well. And that's the same thing that go towards a lot of Tennessee fans. Y'all did all this talking about who Georgia struggled with, and y'all couldn't even get on the board, really. Like, there's nothing wrong with being confident in your team, winning and doing well. Nothing wrong with that at all. Not gonna knock that, not gonna talk bad about a fan base that look at their team doing well when they haven't done so good. I can understand that. Georgia was relevant for 10 years, but still really couldn't do nothing. I get it. But at the same time, don't get so overhyped and delusional that you just really think y'all gonna beat the number 1, 2, or 3 ranked team, maybe even 4 ranked team in the nation because you knocked off one of the most powerful teams in college football, which is Alabama to a degree, but they looking like they ain't them right now. They don't look the same. So I guess LSU is really going to be talking shit, and I hope not, because they're going to end up, to my opinion, going to end up looking like Tennessee. Come out talking all this shit in December and going to be looking crazy as hell on December 4th when Georgia beat them. And then he was also talking about, oh, so you saying UGA is gonna win another national? All right, I'm gonna call you. And once again, I said, think about it. Who was gonna stop Georgia? I said, even if Georgia loses to LSU, we're still getting in because we beat Tennessee, a team that y'all couldn't beat. We're still getting in, and we only got one loss. The only way I see Georgia not getting in, they lose 2 games, and they lose them badly, or all the teams that's undefeated now stay undefeated, but it'll be a toss-up between Michigan and Ohio State and Oregon and TCU. Because Clemson got spanked by Notre Dame. I don't see them getting in, even with 1 loss. Because the other 3 teams that I just mentioned, if they win out, depending on between Ohio State and Michigan, depending on how they went out, Clemson might not get in. That might just open a spot for TCU and Ohio State. Tennessee might not get in because of that. And if Clemson wins out, Oregon wins out, and TCU wins out, Tennessee definitely not getting in. Even if LSU beats us, they're still not getting in. So, I mean, y'all going to Tennessee and LSU and possibly Alabama going to a New Year's Six game or a decent bowl, I should say. While Georgia's going to play for the Natty. A lot of people saying Ohio State really don't have a defense, but they got an offense. That looked like a refurbished or a better-looking Tennessee to me. And if Michigan decides to knock them off, it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, and a toss-up between Clemson, TCU, and Oregon. And any one of them other 3 teams that get in, besides Georgia and Michigan, Georgia and Michigan might end up playing in a national championship. Because Michigan, I'm quite sure won't they rematch. Oregon, I'm quite sure won't they rematch. And Bo Nix, he talking shit. Talking about if we play Georgia today, we will beat them. If y'all defense still look the same, I'll take that back. If their defense has gradually improved, the ass whooping might not be the same. It might actually be closer. It might be 35-27 or somewhere in that realm. But I don't see Oregon beating Georgia. You got Bo Nix. You would have to throw your secondary quarterback in to give Georgia a different look on how y'all going to attack. But I seriously doubt that Oregon can do it. Can they beat Georgia? Not saying they can't. I'm just saying I don't think they got the horsepower to do it. Because anything can happen. Any given Saturday, any team can lose. That has been proven. Alabama took a loss. Florida took a loss. Tennessee took a loss. Notre Dame took a loss. TCU is a struggle busting it throughout the season. They looking like Alabama last year. So I seriously doubt if they make it to the playoffs, depending on who they play first. If you've been struggling all season and you play one of those 5 or 6 teams that get into the playoffs, you're not getting out the first half up and then coming back to win. It's not going to happen. They have not played a defense that's going to snuff them out. And I seriously doubt if TCU plays Georgia the first round, that they're going to have the ability to come back. Because I seriously doubt Kirby is going to let off the gas in the playoff game and let them get back in it. I doubt it. Not just Kirby, but the defensive staff is going to let them get back in the game. Kirby done let up quite a few times this season on certain people. To a degree, I can and can't understand it, but at the same time, I seriously doubt it. Like I said, I don't see nobody out of the East in the SEC stopping Georgia. And if any one of those 6 teams make it, including Tennessee, because they may backdoor their way in because something might happen within these last 3 weeks, I don't even see them doing it again. And it's harder, like Uncle Lou say, it's harder to beat a great team twice. It's hard. Hell, it was hard for Georgia to beat Alabama until Georgia really started pulling away. That whole first half was neck and neck. And I don't see nobody really doing that with Georgia this year. And no, I'm not being biased, and no, I'm not being ignorant to the fact of what teams can do. Georgia struggled with maybe 3 games this year. Maybe 3. But handedly held teams off and did what they wanted to do throughout the rest of the season. And politics do play an issue, but I seriously doubt them putting Tennessee at 1 was going to help their chances of beating Georgia. They ain't do nothing but piss Georgia off. They just made them mad. If folks have not learned, you do not want to make 4 teams that I can understand mad. You don't want to make Ohio State mad. You don't want to make Clemson mad. You don't want to make Alabama mad. You definitely don't want to make Georgia mad. Tennessee really couldn't even get a good start. They were held under their average against Georgia. I'm just wondering who really think a team is gonna knock Georgia off with the way that they're playing. And then Stetson Bennett, like I've been saying, plays the way he played against Tennessee and Michigan. I don't see nobody stopping Georgia. Nobody. Everybody complaining about they have players out. So does Georgia. Everybody be talking about we got players injured. Act like that don't affect Georgia. We be having players out in key positions. We just have players that step up. Not saying other teams don't have players that step up. It's just a difference in playing style. So if anybody see this and want to send this to a Tennessee fan, like, share, subscribe, and all that other good stuff, or whatever the case may be, fine. I give Kangaroo Black props. He talks shit, which is understandable, but he also give props when it's warranted. Tennessee got props from KB when they knocked off Alabama, but they damn sure been getting their ass whooped by KB since then, and Uncle Lou. And I'm hearing Tennessee fan chat, I forgot the name of the channel, was blocking Georgia fans. That really shows what their mentality is at. You can talk shit, but you can't take it. Well, better luck next year. And I know y'all really thought a year ago when Georgia came to Neyland Stadium, y'all was going to beat their ass, and look what happened. Y'all came to Stanford, and it was between 126 and 130 decibels. That's loud as hell. That's extremely loud. Now, Georgia got to go to start Vegas and possibly deal with something of that magnitude. And hopefully Georgia can pull it off. And then we got to go to Kentucky, which is another team that's going to possibly try to do the same thing. Hopefully we pull it off. We win both those games. I see Georgia Tech trying to put up a fight, but it probably won't last that long. LSU better hope they don't lose their next 2 games, but they completely done. They might not make it to the SEC championship. And to a lot of these fans that saying Bama is done, I seriously doubt Bama is done. They're literally, from what I'm looking at, they're literally going through a rebuild. There is no reload. They're literally going through a rebuild, and it seems like it's going to be more with the staff than it is with the players. But other than that, it's DSA1 UGA fan ranting opinions. I'm out.